Hello, it's Jen Healy back with day 25 of this Fearless Challenge, and I wanted to talk to you more about my meditation experience, how I have accessed different information from past lives, and then my discovery of QHHT. And QHHT stands for Quantum Healing Hypnosis Therapy. It is a development of Dolores Cannon, and it is a hypnosis therapy that was mainly focused on past lives for many, many years. And then she realized that she could access what she calls the subconscious, but it was really communication to the higher self and to the higher mind. And when she tapped into this space, that there were messages and wisdom that could be received from the higher self in her sessions. And what I love about QHHT is that I'm asking the client questions and the clients speaking from the place of connection to their higher self and giving the answers to the questions. So they're answering their own questions instead of me doing that for them. So many years, my clients would come to me and ask me questions, and I would connect to their spirit and answer those questions for them. And I call those the quantum healing transmissions and Source Speaks. And that is really incredible and rewarding, and I'm so happy that I have the ability to do that. But what I want to do, and what I have been putting together, is a whole toolbox, a whole toolkit for teaching people how to access their own connection to source, and that is much more empowering than them coming to me and me answering the questions for them. So as I was developing these quantum healing techniques, that is basically a meditation course, a meditation activation course that I had created, I realized that it wasn't traditional meditation and I wanted to give it a different name. So I came across quantum healing hypnosis therapy. And it is something that is so powerful that truly anybody can do, but I do think that it takes some priming and some experience to drop into those higher states. So in the quantum healing hypnosis therapy, we're accessing the higher mind by utilizing symbols and images and tapping into these memories through the feeling tone and through observing. And that'll allow our left brain, our monkey mind, some people call it, our analytical mind, to take a back seat. The person isn't in a trance, they are there, they can hear, and they're experiencing everything happening. But when we drop into those deeper states, we're accessing the theta state. And I've also studied Theta Healing for many, many years and love their techniques as well. So there are a lot of different tools out there, and I like to kind of incorporate the best of the best into one experience, into one program, and that's what I call quantum healing, as well as utilizing the technologies, the electromagnetic therapies. They help quite a bit to tune the energetic systems to access and to hold this information. But I will share a little bit more about my experience before discovering QHHT and how I developed this ability to communicate and to listen. It's truly really listening and receiving the messages, because I receive the messages from Source through my intuition and through my feeling body. Sometimes it's words whispered in my ear, but very rarely are they having a conversation with me like that. I will be able to let Source speak through me, where it's like I give them the mic and then Source is speaking directly. So then those words I record and then I share those in my transmissions. But typically we want to be able to translate through our intuition and through the symbology and the feeling tone what the messages are. And this is a powerful tool that I have developed in my meditations, and then I do share with my clients and for those that are interested. But meditation did not come easy to me. I started meditating back in 1995 when I had my knee surgeries, and it was really inspiration from a friend of mine to help calm, calm my mind, and to be able to get more in tune and in touch, relax my nervous system. I've always been very, we'll just say, high energy, very hyper. And some of my friends even joke when I tell them that I meditate. They're like, "You meditate?" And I usually laugh and say, "Don't act so surprised," because they do. They do act shocked that I do meditate. And I actually love meditating now, but for the first couple years, it was excruciating. It was so painful. I could not sit cross-legged because of my knees. I also had excruciating lower back pain, so sitting was so uncomfortable for me. I've always been more comfortable moving, and movement and that lubrication of the body, or that circulation and that heat in the body, helps me so much. But both sitting and sleeping was incredibly painful for me for many years, basically 15 years. So I sat anyhow, and I worked through it. I found comfortable ways to prop myself up with pillows or whatever it was. But beyond meditation being challenging from the actual sitting position, it was impossible for me to quiet my mind. I have a very active mind. I really cherish my brilliant mind and my, we'll just say, high level of intelligence. It's always been amazing how much my mind loves information and loves to explore, loves researching. It's, it's kind of like Pac-Man. It's always wanting to chew and eat on something. So quieting my mind was pretty much out of the question. So I learned for myself to do more active meditation, I call it. Sometimes that's even movement meditation, where I let my body move, and I'll do a walking meditation, or I'll do active meditation while I'm getting ready in the morning. But for me, active meditation is more guided meditation, where I'm giving my mind something to do and I'm getting it actively involved in the process, instead of just trying to have no mind or no thoughts. So sometimes this can be done by just following the breath, and something simple like that is breathing in and out and observing and watching the breath, watching the thoughts. And then there is a presence practice that I do now that is really wonderful, where I am deeply listening and involved with the thoughts, but not in the old way of believing them or getting into the analytical cycle of involvement with them. So I've been really appreciating this evolution within my own meditation, and I have lots of different guided meditations that I offer for free. You can find them on my website or YouTube, to help people who say, "Oh, I can't meditate, it's not for me," or "I'm not doing it right." If they don't get the results that they think that they're supposed to have immediately, then most people give up. But one of the things that I think is good is to use the analogy of going to the gym and exercising. You might not get results immediately. Some days might be better than others, but to keep going and stick with it, and allow yourself to just explore and experience what meditation is for you, and find out what works best. Some people love to use mantra. Some people love to use breath. This observation and presence practice has worked extremely well for a handful of my clients that nothing else was really working for them. Some of the guided meditation might be too much information that doesn't allow their mind to relax. So you really have to find and explore what works for you. But what I loved about QHHT is some of the spontaneous experiences of awakening that I had with my communication to higher self and source, that can be accessed through this hypnosis technique that I was really developing through meditation techniques. And really, meditation is another way to access the theta state. And so there's a really beautiful crossover between QHHT and the techniques and transmissions that I have been developing. So then I had a direct line of communication on the spirit plane with Dolores in 2018, and I dived into researching and watching all of her videos and to studying her techniques with the QHHT. and then went through her levels, her first 2 levels of certification for the practitioner. That practice and that process was incredibly powerful, but it also reminded me that as a practitioner, I do already have so many tools to blend in and add to that. So usually I start with a Source Speaks or a Source Healing with my clients to prime them and get them ready for the QHHT so that they can more easily get their left brain out of the way or their critical mind out of the way and drop into those higher states, accessing that right brain activity. So what happens? We can reprogram the subconscious when we access a theta state. Theta Healing offers the same possibilities within their techniques, which I've been working with and studying since 2009. So I love Theta Healing as well. All of the healing arts, I love collecting these tools. But QHHT is special because you can have a direct communication. And when that person, I'm recording it, when that person hears in their own voice their higher self giving them the answers instead of me telling them, they know that it's possible, that they know that they have the wisdom inside them. They have the knowledge, and we can access it through this practice, whether it be hypnosis or meditation or any one of these tools, that we all have this ability, and it is possible. And what I have experienced is the past life regression wasn't something I was interested in at first. I was just interested in the connection to source. But that in itself, the symbology of the past lives, whether we think that they're past lives or they're parallel lives or time is happening simultaneously, whatever belief system that is there about it, the fact that we can see that there is a kind of bleeding over and a blending from other lifetimes into the experiences we're having now, and that we can really play in that space of visualization and imagination to see where they come from and extract the messages, that is some really powerful stuff. So even though I wasn't expecting it, I really do love the past life regressions, and it really has helped me understand some of the past life memories that have come through my meditation practice and through my own experiences of communicating to source, and source showing me certain patterns that show up, that it can be an incredibly useful tool. And with my clients, we also do future life progression instead of just past life regression. So future life progression is a really cool tool where we can start to access the information and the experience of our future selves. And so I call this future presencing, where we can communicate with our future self, that we can receive certain guidance and certain information that would be helpful within our current timeline. Of course, life is still a mystery, so they're not going to give us all of the answers. We need to take the journey ourselves. But whatever is appropriate for us to know at this time, we can get that information from our higher self or from our future self, and they will help guide us through our life experiences so that we're not necessarily predicting the future as much as understanding the potentiality and what possibilities exist within those timelines that we can energetically and vibrationally match with now. So I love this practice of not only going into past lives, but matching and becoming who we truly are. So vibrationally coming into harmony and practicing those qualities into being of our future self. So we're pulling towards us all that we are becoming with that vibrational matching. That's some of my favorite work that I do. So that's a little bit about QHHT and the quantum healing techniques that I have been developing for over the last 10 years. And I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Thank you so much for listening. Bye for now.